Quote Retreat by Sandor. One quote, one reflection, one thought that could bring a moment of light and energy to your day. Join me as we take a look at today's quote. The quote is by Ashley Rickards, born 1952. It reads, "The power you have is to be the best version of yourself you can be, so you can create a better world." Let's take a moment together to explore the messages within this quote. Personal power. It's something we all think we understand. But what if the secret to changing the world isn't about having influence over others, but about mastering ourselves? Today, we're exploring a fascinating quote from Ashley Rickards that completely reframes how we think about making an impact.
You know what's really interesting about this perspective? It's not about having extraordinary abilities or resources. It's about something far more fundamental that every single person can access.
Exactly. And when you look at Ashley's journey, it's pretty remarkable. She's taken this philosophy and turned it into real action. Like, she didn't just stick to acting. She's become this multidimensional force for change, speaking out about mental health and body positivity when these weren't exactly popular topics in Hollywood.
That must have taken some serious courage, especially in an industry that's known for being pretty unforgiving about personal struggles.
Well, that's what makes her message so powerful. She's actually living it. You know how she says, "The power you have is to be the best version of yourself you can be, so you can create a better world?" She's demonstrating that by using her platform to tackle these really difficult conversations about mental health stigma and self-acceptance.
The way she's managed to weave together her artistic career with meaningful advocacy is pretty remarkable. Like, she's showing that being your best self doesn't mean limiting yourself to just one path.
Oh my gosh, yes! And what's fascinating is how this approach creates this ripple effect. When someone starts working on themselves, whether it's through therapy, pursuing their passions, or just being more authentic, they naturally become more empathetic and better equipped to help others.
So what do you think makes this message resonate particularly with younger audiences?
Well, I think it's because she's offering this really accessible form of empowerment. She's saying you don't need to wait until you have more money, more influence, or more anything. You can start right where you are, with what you have. And in today's world, where young people are facing these huge global challenges, that's incredibly empowering.
The way she frames personal power is so different from what we usually hear in self-help circles or motivational speaking.
Absolutely right. And here's what's really crucial. She's not talking about some overnight transformation or quick fix. She's describing this sustainable, long-term approach to creating change. It's like she's saying, look, you can't control everything in the world, but you can control how you show up in it.
Well, that's particularly relevant given the overwhelming nature of today's global challenges. Climate change, social inequality, mental health crisis.
Exactly. And what's really powerful is how she's demonstrated this through her own evolution. She started with acting, but instead of just focusing on becoming a bigger star, she chose to use her visibility to advocate for deeper, more meaningful causes. It's like she understood that her best self wasn't just about career success.
The way she balances vulnerability with strength in her message is pretty unique too. She's not afraid to acknowledge struggles while still maintaining this sense of empowerment.
You know what's really striking? This approach to personal power is actually backed by psychological research. Studies have shown that when people focus on personal growth and authenticity, they're more likely to engage in pro-social behavior and contribute positively to their communities.
That's fascinating. So there's actually scientific evidence supporting this connection between personal development and social impact?
Absolutely. And what's even more interesting is how this plays out in different contexts. In corporate settings, in education, in community organizing, when people focus on being their best selves, it naturally leads to better leadership, more effective collaboration, and more sustainable change.
Well, that really brings home the practical applications of her message.
And here's what I think is the most powerful takeaway. This kind of personal power is renewable. Unlike other forms of power that can be depleted or taken away, the power to work on yourself and influence the world through that growth is always available to you. It's like this endless source of potential for positive change.
That's such a hopeful message for times like these, when many people feel powerless in the face of big challenges.
Looking ahead, I think this philosophy is going to become even more relevant. As we face increasingly complex global challenges, we need this kind of grounded, sustainable approach to creating change. It starts with each person taking responsibility for their own growth and development, and trusting that those individual changes will collectively create the better world we're all hoping for.
With that, we conclude this exciting episode. If you enjoyed this episode, I'd appreciate a like and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Your support truly helps this channel grow. See you again tomorrow. Yours, Sandor.